trust your need to take a walk down the street while killers be killing and killing and killing. Nailsin News. 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 News.
That's enough of that. It's a catchy tune, but that's enough of that. Tonight, lips, butts, and potty bobs. That's a bit deceptive. I mean, there's lips and butts in the stories, among other things, but there's only one potty bomb. And even that's a bit deceptive somewhat, but the artistic license comes into play. So we're good on that. So, all right. Everything should be working. I did a test run. Hopefully the audio's good. Plaidcore says, hey, Doug. Doug says, super tip. Nodak says, engagement with the like button is appreciated. Hit it. This is true. You really should, because it's what it is. If you don't like referring to it as hitting it, then I would say push, but even that's aggressive. Touching it, but even that kind of has a perverse thing. Something of that nature, whichever one you prefer. Yeah, like button. Pelel says, thanks, Nodak. Pelel says, hey, everyone. Plaidcore says, hit. So we're going to go with that. Nodak says, no prob, Pel. Well, all right, then. Everything's fine. So I know we want to get to these stories. Oh, my goodness. The type of stories that at least gives you some amount of security in the knowledge that you're not any of these people. No matter what your situation is, at least you're not these people. Of course, in some of these cases, hasn't been fully adjudicated yet, so all suspects are considered innocent until proven guilty. There we go. We're all caught up there. No one can come after me or anything. Pelel, hit that like button like you were a female school teacher. Boy, it's funny you should mention that, Pelel, because two of the stories involve female school teachers. I know it's kind of popular, you know. Plaidcore says, LOL. Joe Lamont says, I am in. In what? Oh, the audience. Well, thank you. Welcome aboard, Joe. I appreciate that. All right, let's take a look at our first contestant. Oh, boy. Isn't she a star? Well, maybe. Man, why does it do? Everything was lined up. I was checking this. Now it's scattered all over the place. Good Lord. Yeah, this one. So we got to deal with some crazy bitches. It deserves its own segment. I do have a little thing like that. Maybe I should. It's too much trouble to go through all the different startings and whatnot. That it would. This segment is crazy bitch news. Oh, Joel Lamont says, good night. Good midnight, Mr. Nailsin. Well, it's a little after that, at least on my neck of the woods. But I appreciate the sentiment. I do. I do indeed. There we are. All right, let's get the ball rolling. Mom pumps bullets into children's father with 9mm as he picks up kids from daycare. Well, that's nice. Well, what a wonderful memory they will have forever. Good Lord. I'm guessing this is the victim, no longer with us, and this is his once beloved. Look at that. Look at those eyes. She means business. Man. I mean, that's horror movie character stuff. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. A Florida woman allegedly gunned down the father of her children as he was picking them up from daycare, blasting him multiple times with a 9mm handgun while saying, "Please let the monster die." Well, you got to die, said Mindy Osteen, 34, as she told her children's dad, Christopher Jones, as she pumped bullets into him at Auntie Lily's daycare in Stark as he was picking up their two kids. Stark is in northern Florida, around 45 miles southwest of Jacksonville. At least 6 other children and 2 employees were inside the daycare at the time of the evening shooting attack. "Chris, you can't kill," redacted is the quote Osteen allegedly said after firing. Maybe she meant me, or I don't know. It was not immediately clear who Osteen was apparently referring to. Oh, so it was probably difficult to understand, foaming at the mouth type thing. Anyway, it appears that the children's individual names were redacted. Oh, so she was saying that about the kids, suggesting that he was going to harm the children? It appears that the children's individual names were redacted from the affidavit. So it could be that. "I'm not killing nobody," said Jones. Witnesses told cops that Jones was trying to load the kids into his vehicle when Osteen set upon him with an RX Delta 9mm pistol that she had hidden in a backpack. Security footage allegedly shows Osteen lurking close by before she starts firing at Jones. Jones put in the car seats in the back seat of his wait, you mean put the children in the back seats of I don't know, as Mindy follows and watches. Christopher is sitting in the driver's seat with the driver door open. Mindy walks directly up to Christopher and fires 3 shots as she backs up slightly. She then walks back up to Christopher and fires 2 more shots. Christopher can be heard screaming. Bradford County Sheriff's deputies arrived on scene, and Smith allegedly told them Osteen was responsible for the shooting. "I'm right here, y'all," Osteen told the deputies, according to our arrest report. "I done it in self-defense." Details have not been released on what Osteen meant. Smith was rushed to a local hospital where he died from his injuries. Osteen is being held on charges of first-degree murder, cruelty toward a child, weapon possession, and larceny. She stole the gun? Well, anyway, she's being held without bond. But one look at her mugshot, that's not just crazy eyes, that's evil eyes. That's the type of look you get in all those movies where someone's possessed by the devil. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's evil. You see that looking at you. Get out. I guess poor Mr. Jones here tried, but she got him. Oh, well. Nodak. Oh, Lord. Pat didn't play the midnight song. Hit it, Doug. Oh. That's what I got. Something about a late night romance for a rendezvous. Something like that. I suck. Hello, my ex used to look at me with eyes like that. Yeah, that's... Pellel, that's a double negative. That means he indeed is. Hmm. Well, he's gone. Yeah, he died. 5 bullets. Yeah. Hey, Thompson, any teacher news in it? Yes. Yes, there is. Nodak, that worked. Thanks, Doug. Oh, the Midnight Song. Midnight. Damn, why can't I remember? It's very simple lyrics, really. Something, something, you. Yeah. It's actually a sweet little tune, you know? Love song from The Shining. Yeah. How much love was there in The Shining? Well, about as maybe more than what we saw here in that story. Good Lord. Wow. Some things shouldn't shine through. Oh, Pale Ale with the star. Okay, midnight with the stars and you. Woo! There we go. That works. See, we're all caught up. Thank God. All right. We'll move on to our next story. Boy, after that, we need something that can help us feel a little better about humanity, huh? I know, it's so depressing. Oh, we don't like hearing that. But again, remember, you're not this individual. No. And that should help you feel good about yourself. Yeah. Mom, who said she had no choice but to leave newborn in dumpster because her boyfriend was going to break up with her, learns her fate. Oh boy, there's the baby. And they managed to save the child from the dumpster. And she's like, hey, look, I wanted to keep my boyfriend. Yeah, this is not how you do that, dummy. A 19-year-old mother in Texas who left her newborn son in a dumpster and told police she had to do it or else her boyfriend would break up with her will be going to prison. Harris County District Judge Veronica M. Nelson, no relation, ordered Everelda Cux Jazalam to serve a sentence of 7 years in a state correctional facility. Cux and Everelda reached a deal with prosecutors in which she agreed to plead guilty, because she is, to 1 count of felony abandoning a child in imminent danger of bodily injury or leaving the boy, later named Gabriel, in the trash behind the taco truck where she was working. Yeah, a dumpster's, it's just not optimal for leaving a child. A passerby heard the boy's cries and notified authorities, saving his life. Cux Everelda, who has been in custody since her initial arrest last year, was credited with 369 days of time already served. Well, yeah, all right. Today, baby Gabriel is healthy, thriving, and living with his foster parents. The statement from the district attorney: we are grateful to the person who happened to hear his cries from the dumpster and called police and ultimately saved Gabriel's life. So that's the hero of the story, you know. He could have just, maybe it was a cat, I don't know, and drove off, but no, he saved that poor little boy. So, Cux, why do I do this? Everelda, on July 21st, 2024, gave birth on the ground behind the food truck where she works, then taking the baby and placing him in a tied garbage bag. All right, this is attempted murder. Flat out. I mean, all right, do you even need the tied garbage? She put the baby in a dumpster, so... and leaving him in a dumpster in the 6,000 block of Dashwood Drive. I did this story before, I think. I just don't remember the name. Everelda. I think whatever. She got convicted. This block of Dashwood Drive in Houston, Texas. Defendant put the child, placenta, and umbilical cord into a trash bag, took the trash bag to a dumpster, and left the child in the dumpster tied inside the trash bag. A magistrate judge wrote in a bond order that included a brief narrative of what transpired. Later, an individual walking past heard the boy baby, yes, and called 911. Officers with the Houston Police Department and emergency medical personnel at about 1:15 p.m. responded to the area and were able to recover the child from inside the dumpster. Medics with the Houston Fire Department transported the victim to Texas Children's Hospital for treatment. Authorities said the child was stable and in good condition. After being treated, he was placed into the custody of Child Protective Services. Police quickly connected the newborn to the food truck and tracked down, Everelda. In an interview with detectives, she said that she had no choice but to put the baby in the dumpster because she didn't want her boyfriend to break up with her. The bond order stated, adding that the event was caught by nearby surveillance cameras. So she's on camera, squeezing the baby out, then taking the child, putting him into a trash bag, placenta and all that stuff, and tossing it in the dumpster, just like her daily chores at the taco truck to dump the trash, Yeah. So during Everelda's first appearance before Nailsin, not me, the judge, and no relation, in July 2024, the judge unloaded on the would-be mother for leaving her son to die in a heap of garbage. It was pure luck that child was found and received care, Nailsin said. I would have said it too, but I didn't. It's this judge. No relation. Given the fact that it's the middle of summer in Houston, Texas, and the temperature at the time, noting the danger to the child under those circumstances, I'm going to set the bail in this case at $90,000. Apparently, working for a taco truck doesn't provide the necessary income to meet that. So anyway, Everelda previously said that her child was the result of a family member raping her. Good Lord. She reportedly said she was not aware that she was pregnant for about 7 months and was afraid to seek medical assistance because, as an illegal alien, she feared being deported. Well, now you're going to have a long stay, Everelda. Yeah. And then when you're done serving your term, which probably, unfortunately, won't be the complete 7, although it should be, you child murdering bitch, you can get the boot right out of here. Ugh. Yeah, that was a terrible story. So that didn't uplift anything. Well, maybe the next one will. One can hope, huh? Well, A. Thompson says, not to give Doug a big head, but the heads of extremely prestigious schools tune into this for teacher news. I told them about this and asked how the screening was going. Oh, wow. Well, that's the deal. Yes, you can learn a lot from these teacher sex scandals on who you should hire to be your teachers in schools. In other words, not the women that you will meet in these stories. Joel Lamont just realized she has the same expression as Jack in the Shot. Yes. Not so much Everelda, although why not? But that first story, oh yeah. Hey, Thompson, it's scaring being a parent. Well, yeah. Hey, Thompson, we need a Nailsin education news. Well, you're going to get some tonight. Hey, Thompson, wow, that lady looks 13 years old. Well, that's another factor here, And I don't know, maybe she's not making it up. Maybe someone in her family. Yeah. Joel Lamont cop has a whole paragraph on his arm tattoo. Well, maybe it's Miranda rights and stuff like that. Pell, did the boyfriends tell her that, or is she putting blame on him? Probably. Gee, I didn't want him to break up with me. Well, Joe Lamont A. Thompson, she might actually be 12. There is a possibility. Yeah, I didn't consider that. But then again, I don't know. Well, it is attempted murder. So, I don't know. Anyway, Wes Cagle, there are safe havens all over where you can legally abandon your newborn safely and without ending the child's life. There is no excuse for this. That's right. You can take your baby to a hospital at the emergency room, leave it there, no questions asked, and you can leave. They'll take care of it, and that's that. You don't have to throw them in a dumpster. Now, I understand Everilda was on the clock at the taco truck, so she was a little busy before she could get to an emergency room or something like that. So I guess that would be her excuse. That plus, people probably would have talked around the taco truck, and she was caught on camera. And she's an idiot, that's just all there is to it. And of course, idiocy and some amount of lunacy and whatnot. Lethal combination. A. Thompson, American society made it so any mother for any reason can drop their kids at any police or fire station. No questions asked. There is no reason for the dumpster. No. Yeah, but she's an undocumented illegal alien. She was scared. She's scared, So, throw a little baby in the trash, Susan Dolan, hail Doug Nelson, hail. Hail Pell, hail Joel Lamont, hail A. Thompson, hail Nodai, hail Wes Cagle. That's everybody. A. Thompson, this girl looks like a sixth grader. Yeah, could be. I don't know. Pell, hey, Susan. Joel Lamont, speaking of finding a baby in a dumpster, have you all seen Tokyo Godfathers? It is great. They put babies in dumpsters? Huh. No, I haven't seen it. So I don't know. Platycar, little baby. That's right. He was a little baby. Joe says, hi, Wes Cagle. And to Susan. Nodak says, I'm dumb. I thought Tide makes garbage bags. I was just about to Google Tide garbage bags until I realized. No, they don't. That's Glad. Glad makes them. Not for this purpose, but they do make them. And then there's Hefty. Oh, and they claim all the other ones are Wimpy. At least they used to. Nodak salutes Susan. Pell says LOL at Nodak. Pell. Oh, so bail would be better if the kid was dumped on a nice autumn evening? Yeah, I know. The judge, look, no relation, I'm sure. But Judge Nelson was trying to make it like she needed to really emphasize how bad this was. It's as bad as it gets, don't you think? Yeah. On top of everything, it's really hot out now. Okay. Dolomont, I knew wouldn't figure into one of these stories somehow. Oh, yeah, that terminology for, family things that shouldn't happen. Plaid Corso, we have to pay for her for 7 years. Yeah, that's the other thing, A lot of people are anti-death penalty. And I know the best argument against the death penalty is you might get the wrong one, and that would be a problem. But he said, hey, come on, that falls under cruel and unusual and all this sort of thing. But you're making the surviving family members of the victim feed and house that lump of shit. You understand? You're doing that to them. Plus, it's like, oh, but it's a life sentence. They'll never get out. Some don't. That's true. But some do. And then the families, what do they got to do? They got to go to every damn parole meeting and say, look, here's the deal. Resurrect my loved one, and this guy's free to go. Otherwise, no deal. Oh, can't? Well, then there you go. Wes Cagle, hail Joel Lamont. Hey, Thompson, they beefed up the screening. This is simply incredible. It's more female teachers than male teachers. I only remember one case growing up. It was international news. Now it's daily. Afraid so. Yeah. Hello, the no firehouse police drop off makes sense. Illegals want to stay far away from authorities, and bibis and dumpsters are the preferred method in Mexico. Really? There's babies and dumpsters all the time in Mexico? Hell, placenta juicing the salsa bill. Oh my God, you don't think so, huh? Plaidcore, OMG. Wes Cagle says, hi, Susan. Nodak, and who knows how many rats are in that dumpster? Well, that's true. I mean, it's a good thing that guy stopped by and, hey, that sounds like a bibby. And said, holy crap, it is. And, before the rats could say, well, what's this? Susan Dolan says, hail Plaidcore. Nodak, being behind a taco place, Speedy Gonzalez was definitely in there. Maybe he's the one who found the bibby, Undly, and all that, He would have gotten the baby to help really fast. Plaidcore says, hail Susan. Joe Lamont, in the Ozarks, teens are not pregnant who can run faster than their brothers, uncles, and grandfather. Oh, okay. Pillel at Nodak, LOL, and nice callback. Well, there we go. You learn things here on Nailsin News. You do. You might have wished you hadn't, but you learned. You did. All right. Well, let's see if this one makes us feel any better. Woman extremely upset over what kind of bed sheets and blankets were put in her room, charged with attempted murder. Oh, boy. There is a dead look in the mugshot. That's a bad sign, too. A neck tattoo, too. I can't read it. A 26-year-old woman in Florida has been arrested after she allegedly broke a bottle over another woman's head and stabbed her because she was extremely upset over what kind of bed sheets and blankets the victim had set up for her in her room. Anaya Durandis Williams was taken into custody and charged with 1 count of attempted second-degree murder and 1 count of aggravated battery with a deadly weapon. According to a probable cause affidavit, deputies with the Polk County Sheriff's Office at about 5:15 p.m. on Sunday responded to a report of an ongoing battery taking place at a home in the 800 block of Morrison Avenue in Fort Meade, which is about 60 miles southeast from Tampa. Upon arriving at the address, first responders made contact with the victim, who told them that Williams, who lived at the victim's home, became extremely upset with the victim about what kind of sheets and blankets the victim set up for her in her room. Williams was allegedly quick to turn her anger into a physical confrontation. As the victim walked out of Williams' bedroom, Williams grabbed the victim's hair and hit her in the front and back of her head with her hand. Williams then grabbed an empty olive oil glass bottle from inside her bedroom, and struck the victim in the head, which caused the bottle to shatter. Williams continually grabbed and pulled the victim's hair, with some of the braids being pulled out completely. Probably like weaves, I guess. While holding and struggling the victim, Williams kicked and bit the victim in the leg. The victim bit one of Williams's fingers to get her to stop hitting her. The victim was able to break free of Williams and began calling 911. That is when Williams allegedly went into the kitchen and grabbed a large knife As allegedly shown by surveillance footage from inside the home, the knife-wielding Williams lunges at the victim, stabbing her in the backside area. So, stabbed her in the ass? Well, all right. But maybe not so much an attempted murder, just, Anyway, police found Williams in the bathroom with the knife and took her into custody. During an interview with detectives, Williams allegedly admitted that she hit the victim in the head with a bottle, then grabbed her by the neck and hair and bit her on the leg. Williams said she then hit the victim with the knife as the victim was turning away and on the phone with the cops. Williams said she was in the heat of the moment. Sure. Authorities said the victim had visible injuries, I'll bet, including a swollen left eye and a small laceration on her backside area, her ass. Additionally, the victim told deputies that she was scared when she saw Williams with the knife and that Williams' actions were against her will. Yeah, she didn't want a knife in her ass. Williams is currently scheduled to appear in court for pre-trial detention. Well, boy, you can just imagine her coming at you with that knife. Still, stabbing her in the ass, and she's charged with attempted second-degree murder. But then again, I suppose you could argue she was aiming for something more serious than the victim's buttocks. And I guess missed, so I suppose they could do that angle, but whatever attorney she gets, he could say, hey, look, Your Honor, she's not guilty of second degree murder. Maybe assault, sure, but, can't we work something out? And they probably will. Because I don't know if you can reach a major artery in your ass. I'm not a doctor, so they'll figure that out. Pellel says, were they MAGA sheets? Oh, could be. Plaidcore, she looks like a black lady Bob Levy. If Bob Levy was a black woman, now you know. I don't know. Bob wouldn't stab some woman in the ass. I mean, not with a knife. Wes Cagle, do I have to be the one to say it? I'm not surprised at the picture. Call me what you want. I don't care. Well, all right. Pellel at Wes Cagle, I'll call you correct. I agree with you. Pellel, dim blankets be racist. They call me. Oh, Pellel. She did talk about pulling the braids out of this woman's head. I'm guessing both women were of African-American descent, And I wonder if they were lesbians or something. I don't know, but she didn't like the bed sheets and so forth. That's the whole thing. Jeez. Well, she's got a place to stay now. Wes Cagle at Pellel, thumbs up. Plaidcore, LOL. Pellel, OMFG in the biggest overreaction Easter category. Pellel, ever. Right. Yes. That's ever. Yes. That is too much of a reaction for bed sheets, whether they were hot sheets or not. Pellel at Plaidcore, forever and ever. I told Pat I was going live. Now, hopefully he's not watching. Joel Lamont, were they... Oh, good Lord, that's right. Were they KKK sheets? Oh, my God. Still had the little eye holes in them and stuff, maybe in the pillowcase. And she was like, are you kidding me? She might have a case then, that was scary. Plaidcore, damn. So maybe so. Nodak, my favorite OJ song, Ass Stabber. Really? Joe Lamont, I wonder what it says on her neck. The same thing it says on the cop's arm. Maybe they're a couple. It was meant to be. Pele, literal pain in the ass. Yeah, I'm afraid so. Yeah, that really does have to hurt. And then afterwards, you want it, you're tired, you want to sit down, but Plaidcore, you heard them dim blankets races, Joe Lamont. Well, especially if they were those kinds of sheets. Joe Lamont, I saw some sheets at a department store from a company called Hotel. Huh. They were super expensive. Maybe those were the ones she wanted. Yeah, well, cough up the dough for that. Jeez. LOL. That was a shot to yesterday's news story where the lady kept repeating herself with that. Oh, yeah. She was, yeah. The guy that she said called her that. That was a weird one because, it's one of those where you're not getting the whole story. It starts off and they're already at each other and like, well, what started it? She says he called her the epithet, And meanwhile, he made a reference to his stuff. He had, I don't know, it looks like he was probably homeless or something, a bag of stuff and bike helmets and stuff. Whatever, it's his stuff. Claiming that she had trashed it. So, I mean, all right, maybe the guy did call you an epithet. Just call him an asshole and move on, But it had to be this big ordeal. Fortunately, it didn't explode to anything more than that, but it could. Alan J. Mannix, breaking news. It's broken. Plaidcore says Alan. Alan J. Mannix says Plaidcore. Nodak says maybe they were rap sheets. Well, she's going to have a couple of those now. Well, probably. You're right. She probably already has. Alan J. Mannix, you doing good with things? Well, some things and other things. Plaidcore. Oh, it's for Plaidcore. Yeah, pretty decent. You? Alan J. Mannix, Nodak, top hat. Nodak salutes Mr. Mannix. Mannix was a TV show about a private detective. Alan J. Mannix, no bad, I'd say. Alan J. Mannix salutes. Plaidcore says, glad to read. Susan says, hail Alan J. Mannix. Alan J. Mannix says, you too, man. Glad to read it. Alan J. Mannix, hail me. Well, she did. Plaidcore. Alan J. Mannix. I know. All right, we're all caught up on that. Well, maybe that'll all work out, and hopefully the correctional center has decent sheets for this would-be murderess, and she can get a good night's sleep. What's she going to do, They got a place for you if you're going to assault the correctional officers over the sheets. So I'm afraid you're just going to have to deal with that. Yeah. Oh yeah. Meanwhile, there's this. Attorney tried to kidnap 2-year-old from daycare who was not her child because she was sent by God to be with the children. Well, there's the whoa. That's odd. Maybe she was injured or something. Her mugshots, she's got like a cleft chin, but it's kind of shoved off to the side. Did she suffer a stroke? Maybe? I don't know. But still, those dead eyes, You can't hide your dead old eyes. An Oklahoma attorney allegedly tried to lure a 2-year-old child out of a daycare, later telling investigators that she was sent by God to be with the children. Tracy Zoll, 49, stands accused of kidnapping. The incident occurred on July 23rd at Westminster Presbyterian Church Child Care Center. That's just too long of a title. And according to a probable cause affidavit, Zoll walked in through an unlocked door, well, there you go, and proceeded downstairs to a classroom. Zoll allegedly approached a 2-year-old girl and tried to take her, instructing the child to come out of the classroom and follow her. A teacher realized what was going on and grabbed the child from Zoll before telling her to leave and calling the director about the situation. Zoll continued to walk around the church and saw a group of children walking in a line. Zoll inserted herself into the line and said she was going with them when confronted by a teacher. The teacher, who thought she might be a volunteer, allowed Zoll to follow the kids to a classroom where she proceeded to sit at a table with multiple children until another staff member approached her. The defendant allegedly said she was sent by God to be with the children before she was again told to get off the property. This time she left, and a staff member wrote down part of Zoll's license plate and passed it on to cops. Using license plate readers, officers located Zoll at her home less than a mile away from the church. She admitted to making a mistake and that she had no reason to be at the daycare, as she has no child or grandchild who attends there. Cops arrested Zoll and took her to the Oklahoma County Jail, where she remains on a $30,000 bond. She does not have an attorney listed in court documents. KOFR, that's KFOR, reported that the Oklahoma Bar Association had previously disciplined Zoll for forging a prescription. She was also arrested in 2021 for reportedly threatening to kill a co-worker. Well, and she lives next door to a church child care center. Yeah. Well, look on the bright side. At least for once, the teachers here were the heroes. Oh, boy. Back to news, says Plaidcore. Alan J. says, breaking news. Joel Lamont. The sheets at Epstein's jail were pretty strong. He was kind of heavy. Yeah, that's the thing. Did he have regular sheets, or there's supposed to have been these like tissue paper type things, you know? Yeah, apparently not. LG Mannix, she looks injured. Yeah, I think so. It maybe been in some accident, and maybe it did more damage to her brain than her face, and now she's nuts. LG Mannix, that's it. Plaidcore and that. Alan J. Mannix, meth broker. Well, that could also. Maybe she tried to self-medicate with meth, and now look. She's on a mission from God. Pellel, like Jake and... Yes. I didn't even see that. Yeah. Like Jake and Elwood, she's on a mission from God. Plaidcore sans the band. Yeah, she doesn't have the band. Sweet home, Chicago. Pell General Zoll is an enemy of Superman. Kneel before Zoll. Joel Lamont, Zoll. Isn't that Zool from Oh, yeah, Ghostbusters. The one in the fridge. Yeah, Zool. Yeah. You probably shouldn't let her babysit kids. Pell LC, crazy affects all wealth tiers and professions. Well, she pursued a professional career because that's what feminism told her to do. Now she's old and lonely and no children, and that maternal instinct is firing off, but there's no outlet for it. You know? Congratulations. Plaidcore totes. Pell, she won't represent herself. Who'd want a lawyer who steals keys? Yeah, that's the thing. But somebody's going to get the job. They always appoint one. Joel Lamont, wait. I want to hear that story about the 6-year-old who was a chew toy. Really? Good Lord. Alan J. Mannix, I am Zool. I'm here for my baby. Yeah, she could have said that. Susan Nolan, you mean Zod? Well, yeah, but in the multiverse, Alan J. Mannix, fuck, Zol. Well, apparently no one did. Alan J. Mannix, General Zod. Oh, yeah. Pell at Susan Dolan, LOL. Yes, my stupid joke was a play on the name. Well, it's a Z. Good enough. It sounds like a Kryptonian name. Good Lord, if she had power like that. She'd wipe out the whole place, Oh, well. And Superman was too busy up north banging Lois, so he turned his powers off. And then he's like, oh, crap, I didn't count on supervillains. It's a good thing Lois dropped that little green crystal so he could get his powers back. All that good stuff. And it worked out, but geez, just to get laid. Of course, he had to. If he hadn't turned his powers off, Lois, if she survived that, would be in a wheelchair for life. Her pelvic bones would be shattered into dust. Of course, at the same time, she's like, oh, you're not super anymore. Yeah. So I guess it all worked out in the end, Plaid Core, I was just watching a Firing Line episode. Resolution? The feminism movement failed. Well, in a lot of ways. You had certain things about opportunity of employment, all this type of stuff here and there, but they always throw the baby out with the bathwater. Boy, did they. All right. Let's see here. Now we'll get to, the good stuff. It's not. It's evil, but Pellel says, once he orgasmed, the blast would put her in orbit. Yeah, there is that thing, Says, well, I'll be slow and gentle. At first, how's that going to work? Unless you can give Lois some kind of... So Wonder Woman can take that pounding, Lois... so it's like, it's Wonder Woman or nothing for you, Superman. Great Scott. Prep school teacher, 26, charged with having slacks with student, 16, after telling co-worker about sick affair. She said, hey, that sex was sick. A teacher at a high-performing Michigan charter school that emphasizes lessons on moral virtues has been charged with having a sexual relationship with a student after telling a colleague about the illicit affair. Jocelyn Sanroman, 26, of Pontiac, is facing a charge of third-degree sexual conduct with a 16-year-old boy. The alleged sexual relationship took place in 2023 while Sanroman was a teacher at Oakside Prep Academy, a charter school in Waterford Township, roughly 30 miles northwest of downtown Detroit. Huh. All right. Well, looks rather young. But anyway, as of Monday morning, Sanroman still hadn't been arraigned. Well, this is some time ago. When was this? June? Yeah, so she's been arraigned by now. But her mugshot was posted. Yeah, there she is. Well, with the lighting, probably takes some years off, but, 26. So, Anyway, she told another teacher that she was having sex with a student, and that co-worker informed police. Oh, boy, meow, meow. The defendant is accused of using her position of authority to exploit a minor victim, Oakland County Prosecutor Karen McDonald said. These allegations represent the ultimate breach of trust placed in educators by parents and the community. As a former teacher myself, I applaud the teacher who contacted police about this situation, protecting other students from further exploitation. Hmm. Hmm. San Roman faces up to 15 years in prison if convicted on the third-degree criminals sexual conduct charge. Oakside Prep Academy is part of the National Heritage Academy system, which touts its moral focus program that helps students discern and appreciate the difference between right and wrong. Yeah. Well, in a roundabout way, she did demonstrate something that was wrong. But, I know teaching a lot of times involves visual aids and that sort of thing. But, so there we go. Alan J. Mannix, it's always at first. Joe Lamont, Superman could be with Supergirl. They're not first cousins, are they? Yes, they are. Then Lois could adopt. You mean Lois? Lois could adopt the kid. Why would she want to do that? I mean, Lois, I can't bang you, so my cousin's going to have to handle that. And then you can raise the baby. Yeah, Lois would be perfectly on board with that. Pell, Joe Lamont, they are first cousins, I believe, but they'll just have to move to the south. Hey, come on! No! That was a long time ago. Pell, Kryptonian Trailer Park. Yeah, I suppose. Plaidcore, pretty cute. Yeah, she was, but Joe Lamont, that teacher and the kid have only a 10-year age difference. It is much less than most Hollywood couples. Oh, yeah. Decades even. Yeah, I suppose you could argue that's a mitigating circumstance. Maybe she won't have to do the full 15, Yeah. Anyway, Plaidcore, what positions? Well, Pell, pennies are for spending, not eating. Right and wrong. Susan Dolan, Joe Lamont. Yep, first cousin, as Zor-El, Supergirl's father, was Jor-El's brother. There you go. That's a little close. And I mean, look, the baby is going to have problems plus superpowers. You want to unleash that? I mean, stupid Luthor went and cloned Superman and created Bizarro. Look at that mess. I mean, come on. Plaidcore, seriously, Joe Lamont, and the kid love it. Well, that's the thing, loved it. Yeah. We don't really hear about these guys until much later. A lot of them do give testimony. Hey, I think I'm, messed up or whatever, after their mom finds their phone full of the pictures and stuff. And it's like, well, I really didn't want her to see that, but, Pell, Susan Dolan, is Supergirl's name Kara Zor-El? Yeah, she takes father's name. I mean, it's the Kryptonian way or whatever. You would think it'd be Kara L, because L was supposed to be the last name, but I guess maybe the females take the full name of the father. I don't know. Pell, when he uses his laser vision, he won't hit the target because of the lazy eye from the promo. Oh, yeah. Well, come on. It wasn't that bad. Susan Dolan, Pell, not quite that familiar with Kryptonian names, but I assume it would be Kara L, Kara from the House of L. Yeah, but I think I've heard them call her Kara Zor-El. So I don't know if that's supposed to be the thing. Like, well, the women take the father's full name, not just the L part. I don't know. And does that mean like Superman's mother married Jor-El? So is she Lara L or Lara Jor-El? I don't know. Then you got to wonder about her name. Lara was her father's name. Yeah, I don't know. Plaidcore, I think my mom would be proud if I stooped a teacher. Well, yeah, but still, it's like, yeah, I don't know. It's like, well, look, she has an income, a house. In 2 years, you're out of here. You can go live with her. Nodak, well, if everyone is worried about what happens to Lois if they hook up, what about every time he goes number 2? Oh, yeah. That's, wouldn't he shatter every toilet whenever he has tummy troubles? Good Lord. Well, I mean, he probably never has tummy troubles, because his guts are super, except for the kryptonite. That's one of those things is like Lex Luthor kidnapped Lois and he's got a gun to her head or whatever. You've got a choice, Superman. I kill Lois Lane or you swallow this kryptonite rock. So he's got to swallow the kryptonite, and then he's got explosive shits after that. Of course, this works against Luthor. He thought it would be funny, but then Superman blows a hole through the Earth's core and all this stuff. That's it for you, Luthor. Thought you were funny, didn't you? You were wrong. Joe Lamont Nodak, he eats at Chipotle, so it is always soft serve coming out. Fellow at Nodak, I thought of that. He eats Earth food. If he had a Kryptonian burger, that turd would put a hole in the planet. Yeah, a lot of his bodily functions are part of his superpowers. What does that do? Well, doo-doo. All right. And one more of these special stories that gives us insight into our current education system. It does indeed. It does. Uh-oh, breaking news. Tsunami fears around the globe as Hawaii governor warns significant wave is imminent. Whoops. Well, it's that could be very serious. Meanwhile, back to Nailsin News. Married special education teacher pleads guilty to sending nudes to student on Snapchat. A married special education teacher from Missouri has admitted to sending nude images to a 16-year-old student, but avoided jail after more severe charges, including statutory rape and sex trafficking of a child, were dropped. Yeah, but why? I mean, so she didn't just send naked pictures. She had sex with this child. But hey, you know what? We're really mad about the sexy pictures. Ricky Lynn Laughlin, 26, sent X-rated photos and a video of herself using a sex toy to the teen student over Snapchat, as well as soliciting nude pics of the boy and trying to pressure him into having sex. Laughlin pleaded guilty to endangering the welfare of a child, creating substantial risk. First degree, first offense, no sexual conduct. All right, so they didn't have sex. She just wanted to. All right. She was a teacher at St. James High School, but then it's not much of a deal because you didn't make a deal. You couldn't charge her with statutory. Anyway, she was a teacher at St. James High School in where else? St. James, Missouri, around 75 miles southwest of St. Louis at the time of the crimes between September 8th and October 19th, 2023. There's her mugshot. Well, that's on October 23rd last year, prosecutors charged Laughlin with felony counts of possession of child pornography, tamper or attempt to tamper with a victim in a felony prosecution, statutory rape, second degree, sexual exploitation of a minor, tampering with physical evidence in a felony prosecution, furnishing pornographic material to a minor, and sexual trafficking of a child, second degree, under 18 years of age. Laughlin was sentenced to 5 years of probation. The student reportedly told police that things progressed fast after the Snapchat exchange and that he and Laughlin had kissed. I'm assuming this is her husband. Yeah. Wow, she's got a nice rack. Wow. Yeah, she's cute. Yeah. That's, yeah, but Boy, she's a perv, isn't she? And yeah, okay. When she allegedly invited him to have sex, he made excuses because he did not feel comfortable. A probable cause statement by Marie County Sheriff's Office states. Marie County officials first launched an investigation after a Phelps County detective tipped them off about an inappropriate relationship at the SKU. The case was transferred to Grundy County, Solomon Grundy, on a change of venue. So maybe that's how she was able to get a better deal. Everybody else was like, "You bitch," and these people like, "I don't know, she looks hot," and they gave her a sweetheart deal. But well, the kid was nervous, and so this could have gone a lot further. I mean, they did statutory rape. Had it gone through, then yeah, you could have done that, but he didn't want to. So there you go. But basically, she solicited. It didn't say that he actually sent the pictures. She sent him pictures. Well, whatever. She got probation, so. But I guess she can't continue her dream of being a teacher now. Yeah. Another story in the same age range. Yep. Plaid Corps, a special teaching specials. Yeah, that's the thing. That's another thing about the kid. We don't know what his mental state is. Special education. So, and she's, jeez, lady. Told him on another looker. These hot chicks can't find an adult guy. Well, she did. There's that guy with him, I think is her husband or boyfriend. And I just like, she's at that school all day and she's like, I just got to do one of these kids. It's weird shit. I don't know. Plaid Corps, very odd indeed. I mean, she's absolutely stunning. I don't know. Susan Nolan at Doug, unless they put it down as attempted sex. I suppose that's the deal. But they dropped it and they did the pornography charge and did that. Plaid Corps, damn. Yeah, I know. But okay. Gentlemen, okay, she was married. Oh, yeah. Jeez. Joel Lamont, he did not feel comfortable. Maybe he was on the other team. Possibly, but also you got to consider this is special education. So the kid might have some other problems there, which look, it's disturbing all around, but even more so that she wants to prey upon these kids with mental disorders or what have you. Anyway, Plaid Corps, attempted sex. LOL, Susan. Well, yeah, she was like wanting him to give her naked pictures, wanting him to, go with her. Pella, queer. Well, possibly. But again, we don't know because the situation. Susan Dolan, chances are she's not married anymore. I would think not. Unless the hubby's a bit of a perv thinking her perviness is hot. Well, there is that, maybe, but I don't. Because it's not like she's like that. There was another story where the woman saying, this kid's obsessed with me and he made it up and all that type of stuff. This one's like, yeah, I did. Because, I mean, she sent videos of herself. And she's like, yeah, all right, you got me. Pella and Susan, yeah, he'd have to just to save his reputation in the community. And he's like, unless he's like, yeah, but look at her. I mean, my God, I'm never going to get any as good as that. Plaid Corps, big piece. R.I.P. Ski Mask. I realize, yeah, Ski Mask passed away, but big piece. I guess I'm not familiar with it. Sorry about that. Oh, goodness gracious me. Well, what are these people up to? Well, we know what they're up to, but okay. Got a little message here. I need to take care of that. So I guess I'll take a little break here. I came prepared. I thought I did. Where is it? There it is. So here's a Nailsin news story I did a while back. I'm pretty sure this is one that I approached as an update on this story. And I think I did it in a live stream, but I didn't save it later or anything. So we'll take a look at this while I take care of some business. This is a Nailsin News Bulletin. Remember her? You might. This is not that long ago. Did a cartoon, remember? I mean, look at that face. Jeez Louise. Yeah. All right. Mom who used .38 revolver to gun down fathers yes, of her children in 2 different states, killing one, learns her fate. A mom from Missouri who tried gunning down the fathers of her children, one of whom she killed in a multi-state shooting spree earlier this year, will spend the rest of her life in prison. Yeah, that's the whole story right there. But no, I'll continue. Taylor Santiago, 31, of Aurora, pled guilty in April to charges of first-degree murder, robbery, unlawful use of a weapon. It is unlawful to use a weapon in murder. It is. And endangering the welfare of a child in connection to the January 23rd attacks and slayings, which were investigated and reported by the Aurora Marionville Police Department in Missouri and the Carroll County Sheriff's Office in Arkansas. They all got together on this one. Santiago confessed to shooting the fathers of her children and a woman who was dating one of them who also died. Oh, boy, I forgot about that part. Yeah. At approximately 1:45 a.m., Taylor Santiago arrived at the Aurora Police and Fire Facility and called from the parking lot, reporting that she had just murdered her estranged husband, Troy Huffman, at her residence. Police officials allege. Officers immediately took Miss Santiago into custody and responded to her apartment, where they located a deceased male identified as Troy Huffman. While in custody, Santiago confessed to driving to Arkansas earlier in the day to shoot the other biological father of her children and a woman who he was dating the man, per Wichita, Kansas NBC affiliate Cassin. She turned herself in after arriving back in Missouri following the double shooting. Santiago told an AMPD detective during her police interview that she invited Huffman over to her apartment to see their son before he was killed. Santiago said that when he arrived, she told the child she was going to take care of the bad guys and had the youngster cover their ears. God. Santiago pulled out a .38 revolver and hid it behind her back before walking into a room where Huffman was and killed him. Aurora Police Chief Wes Coatney told Springville, Missouri, NBC affiliate KTV, he believed the overall motive for the shooting spree was related to custody issues between Santiago and the 2 male victims. Coatney said it was unclear why Santiago drove back to Aurora to turn herself in. I don't know the answer to that, he told KTV. I'm glad she did turn herself in, not the shooting. I just want to make that clear. I'm glad she turned herself in. I wish she would have come to us before she did all of this, so, we could have helped her. Or better yet, you could have helped the 2 men and the woman, Santiago was living in an apartment building in Aurora at the time of the shootings, according to police officials. Her neighbor's daughter was at home at the time of the Huffman attack and described what she heard to her mother. This is really sad to happen right next door anywhere else. Well, she did hear some banging on the bathroom walls, said the neighbor. Santiago's endangerment charge stemmed from her daughter being present during the shooting in Arkansas. Well, yes. The incident left the father of Santiago's daughter critically injured, while the child was unharmed. Well, physically, At first, she was very nice, the neighbor Carla Rogers said about Santiago, who allegedly threatened the neighbor last year. I don't know if something happened. I believe she had gotten into drugs. Yeah, maybe. But either way, she cray-cray. Oh, boy, is she cray-cray. Oh, yes. I mean, she cray, then she look. And that's pretty cray. All right, that's enough of that. You get the point. I had to take care of some business and also fix my little drinky poo. That's nice. Now I got to switch the scenes because I have a super tip. Oh, wait, I don't need to put this up here. There. More Nailsin than you can stand. All right. There we go. This should work. Let's hope. Here we go.
Attempted sex, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Attempted sex, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Attempted sex, you miss.
Thank you, Mr. Dixon. Good old Pat Dixon with $5 on super tips. So, see how much fun super tips are. It's a great thing because not only do you get to tip the creators that you enjoy watching doing horrible stories like these, but you get to have fun with it by having the comments and or questions, whatever, voiced by these amazing little funny voices. I only have two. I hope to get more later. But nevertheless, you can use my voice or Pat Dixon's voice to do so. Or if you just want to do a text one, you can do that too. But still, look how much fun that is. Isn't it? I think so. So thanks again, Pat Dixon, for the super tip. So there you go. It's fun. And I finally figured out how this works overall. I just switch between these two different layers within EV Mux, and appears to be the deal. The sound thing appears that I have to be on camera in order for the sound. I can't even, maybe here I could like move one of the background images up. I'll mess with that later. I don't want to screw up my deal here. But nevertheless, that appears to be the conundrum. I don't know. I mean, I was on camera when that still doesn't work. It's a strange thing. I don't know. It's strange, but so far so good. It's working. So, we'll go with that. All right, back to the other layer so that I can get back to my lovely stories. And we're done with this story. And we'll go to the next one, which we can stop picking on all the ladies because it turns out there are male criminals as well. Oh, I got some more chats here. Joe Lamont, maybe she's related to the married woman to the special needs guy who accused the other special needs guy of assaulting her. Maybe she's related to the woman married to the... Yeah, I don't know. It could be something. Plaidcore kid shit was a catchphrase of skis. Oh. All right. Now we know. Joe Lamont, you know who I mean. Ex-buddy of Taylor Swift. Ex-buddy of Taylor Swift. Don't know where Carmen is, but Taylor Santiago is in the clink. Uh, yeah, I'm drawing a blank on that. But perhaps my guest can help out. That's right. Pat Dixon. Hello,
Yeah.
Pat.
How are you? No, I don't know anything about that.
Don't know anything about Carmen or Taylor Santiago or Santiago.
Well, one of them's missing.
Well, one of them is in the clink, he says, so I'm assuming that refers to incarceration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds
that
like
could
some
be the
carceral time, yeah.
Yeah. So that's good to know. Joe Lamont, how can you use a weapon in an unlawful manner? It is like no fighting in the war room. Yeah. They pulled the gun out. You thought it was a gun, but it was a cigarette lighter. Pellel, good news, kids. You no longer have to worry about Father's Day gifts. Really? Joe Lamont wouldn't behind her back actually be in front of her. This happens to be referring to a story. There, another one of these teacher sex scandals, Pat, and this particular one, the one I just did, well, she preferred special education students and was really trying hard to get this guy. She's beautiful. I mean, she's got a nice rack and everything, and she sent nude pictures to this boy and videos of her doing herself with a sex toy, and the boy just wasn't into it.
Wow.
Turned her down, and said he was nervous and uncomfortable about her.
He
Now,
never
special
even-
needs, he might be a little mentally retarded or something of that nature.
Sounds like it.
Yeah. So
So,
she tried.
but not to get that message. I mean, that's a pretty clear message.
Yeah.
If she was doing herself with a sex toy, he might have been like, "It's hurting her."
Yeah, that's true. She's like, hey, what do you think about this? Doesn't this look like fun? No, it looks painful.
Stop.
Yeah, I'm scared. So it could have been something like that.
Maybe though he was just like, nah, not hot enough. That does suck.
I mean,
when
the other teachers were better.
a mentally retarded guy is batting out of your league.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't get her.
Who is this stud?
It's got to be a weird fetish.
Hey, Thompson, how many hours until monetized? I don't know. I keep forgetting to check, but it's not there. And even if I get there, that's not a guarantee I get monetized on YouTube. Probably, but, But I'm doing it. I'm doing the hours. Hello. I thought it was run by Magic. You mean the school? Pell Taylor was that update story when you took care of business. Oh, Taylor. Yes. I'm sorry. Yes, that was the crazy woman another woman who had the dead-eyed look, murdered not one, but two of her baby daddies. And had to travel between 3 states to get one of them and all this stuff. I mean, she was another monster, You think, oh, she's so petite and cute and everything, but that was Taylor. Plaidcore. Pat, you sound like you're taking an order through a drive-through speaker.
I do.
Well, earlier it kind of was, but you sound perfect now.
Anytime I sign on to somebody else's show, I have to go and the mic doesn't automatically connect.
Right.
For some reason it connects me up to the default, the camera mic, which
the camera.
Who the fuck is using that ever?
No, yeah, who uses it? I mean, it's like when you're aware. I would assume the computer's aware of the other option. That's the one you go for.
I wish I had my Mac again, but this is a fast machine.
Yeah.
I keep its motor clean. Best damn desktop I've ever seen. Thanks for letting me know.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Yeah, you don't place your order for ribs. He ate them all. So.
Oh, they were good. I only had 2.5 left, and it was enough to fill me up. These things are so. I mean, they're pork ribs, but they're fucking gigantic. There's so much meat on them. I love it, and they're so tender, and the flavor is perfect.
Over there.
Rib and loin, Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Rib and loin. That's It almost sounds like a law firm or something, but it's ribbon loin.
The law offices of Ribbon Loin.
Here at law offices of ribbon loin. We stop at nothing for our clients. Oh, Nodak wants the midnight song.
Do you mind?
No, I don't. Go ahead.
All right, I'll do it. In a second.
I tried to sing it earlier for them, but I forgot the lyrics.
Oh. That you know what? I can almost remember the lyrics, but I can, I don't strain myself to remember how things go unless I absolutely have to.
Yeah.
Which is, probably kind of stupid. I really should struggle to memorize more stuff. You'd think as many times as he's requested "Rock the Boat," I'd know that by heart by now, but
Right.
it's only like it's about as easy as it gets.
A lot of things with memory, if it doesn't get to your autopilot, and you if you intentionally want to think about it, you won't get it. But if it's in your autopilot and you just do it without thinking about it,
it just takes me 10,000 years to get to that.
Right.
Autopilot is
That's
almost
all.
uncontactable. Yeah, I think I sniffed a lot of glue in high school too. I'm not
Well,
sure.
there is that.
I don't have any memories before age 13.
I sniffed a lot of the Marks-a-Lots, the Sharpies.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
That'll leave a mark.
Yeah. It did.
Midnight with the stars and you. Midnight and a rendezvous.
Mm.
Your eyes held a message so tender, that saying I surrender all my love to you.
You.
Midnight brought a sweet romance.
Ah, yes.
I know all my whole life through. I'll be remembering you, whatever else I do. Midnight with the stars and you.
You. There you go.
Did it.
Love
Thanks for
theme.
the request. It makes me feel seen.
Yeah.
I feel seen.
That is Pat Dixon's authentic self.
Yeah. I like talking about the nature of memory. That's interesting, isn't it?
It is
How
because
does that work?
I don't know. Now lately one of the theories is that as you age, your brain is running out of space to store the memories. So it kind of has to dump some of them. Some of them kind of blur into one another. So you don't quite remember things as they actually were to make room for new ones.
I guess there's only so much room for memory, and you need other stuff, areas for, like, I don't know, cognitive figuring shit out or something. But
Yeah.
It just gets rid of memories that it considers less important. But it does
Right.
that during sleep your whole life.
Right. Now
Which
there's
is-
like major things like some accident you suffered or whatever. You're going to remember that.
Yeah, but like you forget, like your brain just goes, don't need that, and
Right.
you don't, it's it's obviously an unconscious process, so you can't really, decide.
You don't really need to remember where all the pins you had went.
Right when I met these, yeah, exactly. Where did all the pins go? Oh yeah, that one, that one, that one. You could
Yeah.
roll that tape back.
Good God.
That'd be a thrill a minute. High school people, sometimes I like at a reunion or something, I ran into, obviously, I talked to a bunch of people from high school and they were telling me all this shit that happened. And
Yeah.
and I vaguely remember these people, but they have these vivid memories of.
That's an odd one there. Well, they remember. Yeah. And after they would tell me stuff and I was like, oh yeah. Some of it does kind of come back,
Yeah, that's weird because it doesn't get
How the
rid of
hell
them.
did I
again.
forget that? Yeah, I did. But yeah, that's the thing. Is like if it doesn't have any trauma involved, your odds are you won't. But then there's things like what really hits you is not just someone reminding you of it. Is like if there was any videotape from then of you or at some place, and that's happened to me a dozen times. I'll see it and I'm like, I have no memory of being at that party or function or whatnot, but there I am.
Strange.
These days it could be AI. That means
Yeah,
it
somebody
didn't happen
probably
at all.
cooked up a really sophisticated AI version of
Just to say
of a
you were
period-
there. Don't lie.
a period accurate 1986 party.
Yeah.
We're gonna put one over on Doug. He's not gonna remember this
That's right.
because it didn't happen. We fooled him.
Susan Dolan says at Joe Lamont, which ex-buddy of Taylor Swift? She's had about a dozen or so. The last one being Tom Hiddleston. She's had quite a few boyfriends. Now she's dating, what's his name? Kelsey, the football player. Yeah.
Kelsey, the football player.
Yeah. I don't care. Kelsey Grammer, the football player.
Yeah, Kelsey.
Joe Lamont, I was referring to the Baldani accuser. That sounds familiar, but I can't remember. Bird64, hello. Flatcore, yo, Bird. Susan says hi. Joe Lamont. Ryan Reynolds and Bondoni both seem to be special needs because they are interested in interacting with Blake Lively. There, I named her. Oh, the Baldani. That's the guy she sued for sexual harassment. And then he dumped the footage, and it looks like there's nothing to it, but they're still going with it. Tried to destroy his whole life. Yeah, that one. Sounds like a bitch move to me. Let's see. If you go by Pat's impression, that kid was Walter White Jr.
Why don't you just die already?
Don't you wanna? Nodak, this is the part of the show where our messages are mostly just trying to explain our previous messages to Doug. Good point. So let's skip ahead. But I guess I'll move on to the remaining news stories. Now, the first dump of stories were all these crazy bitches, Pat. So to be fair,
I missed the good part.
you missed the good part.
Damn
the
it.
sexy teachers, all that. Crazy bitches with dead eyes or crazy eyes or a combination of the two, committing all kinds of murder or trying to anyway. And a girl who had a baby behind the taco truck and threw it in the dumpster.
And the retarded guy never did fuck that teacher or do
No.
anything with her.
No, he didn't.
Wow. Bless his heart.
Yeah, he's true to his standards.
Yeah. Yeah, he must be a really devout Christian.
Something like that. 69-year-old pulls gun out at flea market and blows away wife's lover after he shows up to give food to a friend. So here's the perpetrator.
That guy was giving food to somebody?
No, the victim was at this
the perpetrator. Got it.
flea market. I don't know. I guess this is like a Dollar Tree store.
Dee Dee's Discounts.
DD's Discount. So it must be a strip mall. There must be a flea market around here somewhere. And, problems ensued. So Florida man allegedly murdered his wife's lover after an argument in a flea market. Omar Rene Aguila stands accused of second-degree murder in the shooting that occurred on July 12th at the Northside Shopping Center in Miami. According to a probable cause arrest affidavit, Aguila's wife and the victim started having an affair in 2019. Aguila learned of the romance in April 2024 and urged her to end the affair. But 2 days before the shooting, the victim reportedly showed up to Aguila's and the wife's home. The victim and suspect had a confrontation. On the day of the shooting.
Oh, wait one moment. I mean, like, can we pause on that for a second?
All right.
Another paragraph. Did I read that right? That she started an affair in 2019.
Right.
He learned about it 5 years later
Yes.
and urged her to end it.
Yes.
So far, I think he's being pretty reasonable.
I think so. In fact,
I urge you to end this.
I think he should have got a lawyer and 5 years fucking this guy.
Wow.
And then he still shows up, on the day of the,
Enough is enough for that married pussy.
yeah. Aguila was with his wife and son. So there's a child involved in this too. At the flea market when the victim dropped off food to a friend. Sure. The victim tried to talk to Aguila's wife before leaving.
Wow.
Aguila went to the victim's car where the two started arguing. Within seconds, Aguila reportedly pulled out a gun and shot the man several times. Surveillance video captured the shooting. Paramedics rushed the victim to the hospital where doctors pronounced him dead.
He did what he had to do, but now he's got to do what he's got to do. Just to go to prison, I guess. Wow, all over this stupid horror. Think of all the close calls they had. Doug? Hello? Are you there?
What the hell?
There you are.
They come back?
Yeah, you're there now.
What the hell was that?
I don't know. You just dropped out for a second.
Weird.
I thought that maybe there was an unexpected end to the show or something.
No, but it just all of a sudden it said your device is disconnected. And I'm like, huh?
Oh. Well, anyway, It's pretty remarkable. Remarkable secret word.
Yeah.
That the guy, after finding out about this 5-year deal, he urged her not to.
Yeah.
Think of all the close calls. There's no way. Obviously, he knew this guy. He was part of his wife's life. There's no way he would be totally unaware of it. But like all the times when she's like, nah, ain't nothing going on. Come on.
Yeah. Come on. And he just happens to show up at this flea market that they're involved with.
Right.
And then, you know what? I'm going to walk over and talk to her right in front of him. Like,
yeah. Guess he's gotten used to that kind of fucking,
Yes, familiarity,
The guy's pretty fucking obtuse.
Yeah.
If it's hard to carry on a 5-year affair, I believe.
I would think.
Without the guy getting kind of like,
suspicious.
I mean, she probably had to shout down that suspicion dozens of times, too.
Right.
Like, no, it's all good. I promise, all that shit.
And then
she
one
just
day
keeps right on fucking the guy.
Right. And then he comes home and there they are going at it in his living room.
Which he paid for, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. So
you got to go the way of this. See that story there that's like highlighted, sort of stuck in the middle of this one, advertised.
The more from law, husband overheard wife having inappropriate conversation, strangled her to death so she stopped being a whore. Yeah, I've covered this one.
Yeah. Now that it's just an inappropriate conversation.
Right.
He's like, that's not appropriate, whore. That's why he had to strangle her to get her to not be a whore anymore.
I think he was a bit more nutty than that and that sort of thing. Whereas this guy, I think this is certainly a mitigating circumstance. They can talk about crimes of passion and that sort of thing. Usually they reserve that for when you walk in on it and you lose your mind and blow them away and stuff like that. So he's going to do some time, but you could argue like this guy wouldn't stay away. And he made it clear that he's very upset about this.
Yeah, because if you walk in and that's going on, you could say, I thought he was raping her. I had no idea.
Yeah, you can make up the story. Yeah, it's my wife. Who is this man on top of her? So it's a bad situation all around, Pat. And odds are he probably should have filed for divorce when he found out about the affair and that sort of thing. But then he looks pretty old, so I'm guessing the children that they have are adults. Unless maybe they have to raise the grandkids or whatever, that kind of situation.
They don't seem stable enough to be that.
Yeah. Trying to keep it going. Or she could be a very young wife and she's banging a younger man. And it could be something like that.
What about my chow?
Yeah. So, oh man, what a mess. But I think we covered that one. So best of luck. Well,
it looks like
Aguila.
Yeah, well, look, I thought this was supposed to be looking bad on men.
Yeah, I know. What
happened?
Doesn't quite measure up as much as those bitches.
Squarely on her. She killed this guy.
Now, there was one story where this woman claimed that it was self-defense. She walked up to her husband or boyfriend, I can't remember which. They have kids together. He was picking up the kids from daycare, and she walked up to him and gunned him down in his vehicle. And she says, it was self-defense, y'all.
Battered woman defense.
Yeah, I guess. And she was apparently accusing him of wanting to kill the children, but there's no little evidence he's picking them up from daycare. So that's her story. We'll have to see how that turns out.
People can't stand to be wrong, you know?
Well,
they have to tell a story that makes them right. God, I hate that.
So that's, oh, wait, I need to take that out of there. So yeah, that's the only one where there was any kind of defense. The woman who dumped her baby in a dumpster said, well, I didn't want my boyfriend to find out that I had a baby, and I was afraid he'd break up with me. So there was that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's our story. And the police are like, that's not going to work.
That's not a very good, it's not a very good excuse. You can make up anything. I was afraid, but she was honest instead. I think that was her honest reasoning.
I think so. Yes. She later said that the father of the baby was a relative, and so she didn't want to tell authorities about it because, well, she's an illegal alien. So there's that to the mix. So, but she's here to stay for a while now.
These crimes are for another country to deal with.
Yeah, that's true.
Was she married to a citizen?
No, didn't say she was married at all. She looked like she was 12 years old herself, working at a taco truck.
Jesus. An illegal immigrant working at a taco truck.
Yes.
Commits murder or kills her kid.
Oh, the kid survived.
Oh, really?
Miraculously enough, it did. Someone heard it crying and said,
so then mother and child were reunited?
Nope.
She'll get a slap on the wrist.
Probably.
It's such a liberal court system. They love stuff like this, you know, like poor single mom. She was barely old enough to do a job. She could barely see over the window of the taco truck. She was doing her best to provide, and in desperation, blah, blah, blah.
Mitigating circumstances, the oppression of the immigration laws and ICE. My God. Plus, she was abused by a family member. And she feared losing the man she loved. All that came together.
Oh, no.
Am I condoning what she did? No. But am I explaining it? Yes. Your Honor, probation.
Yeah. If that.
Plus, she had the baby here, so.
Oh, God. Birthright citizenship.
You see how that works? So,
we stuck with his ass.
Well, he's in foster care now. Maybe that'll work out.
Oh, God. That always goes well.
Plus, if she's telling the truth, he's a result of, incest.
I bet that baby in the dumpster story really gets the kids flying off the shelves as far as adoption goes, though.
Baby. This one we found in a dumpster.
Yeah. They should say that about all of them. All these babies were in a dumpster.
All right. Well, one night I was dumpster diving, and guess what I found?
Ooh, much to my horror.
All right. Model traveled to the Caribbean to get butt implants, and they fell out. She says my implant was hanging. Hanging implants.
Droopy ass implants.
Do you suffer from droopy ass? Well, here at the law offices of Rib and Loin, a millennial woman who spent thousands of dollars on implants to enhance her derriere experienced the unthinkable. Her butt implants falling out. Chelsea Robertson, a self-proclaimed model and businesswoman, is no stranger to plastic surgery and isn't afraid to spend whatever or go wherever it takes to get the result she wants. So far, she has spent over $140,000 in total on various procedures. Well, let's see.
Wow.
That are we talking about a trans woman here?
And may your first daughter be a masculine daughter.
Is that almost an Adam's apple?
Look, I'm not into it. I don't.
Yeah, Well, I don't know. I'm no expert. So the 29-year-old thought nothing of booking a flight to the Dominican Republic from London in 2019 for a butt implant procedure, since the Caribbean is known for offering more affordable yet skilled procedures compared to the U.S.
See, now, wait a second. Now, it was saying before, she spares no expense.
Right.
She goes for the best. But she went to the Dominican Republic for the cut rate butt implant. Okay.
So
Now she's bargain hunting.
maybe it's pricier in Haiti. During a sit-down interview with British TV personality Olivia Atwood for her Who Cares, Robinson recalled the traumatizing story of how her plastic surgery went wrong. When I got back from there, the DR, Dominican Republic, I went to the gym. I was squatting in the gym, and I felt something, the 29-year-old explained. My leg went all tingly, and I felt something come out. My implant was hanging.
Wow. Well,
So
look at that.
Yes, this is before she squatted. This is what it looked like. These are the cheeks.
Fuck you, man. Ain't no sympathy. Look at that dumb ass. That is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever seen.
What's a perfect illustration of the term dumbass? Well,
it looks like one of those drawings that go along with the AI music over on the other show. Except the ass version. Oh.
Yes, this is the ass version rather than the titty version. But yeah, you could literally, say put a six-pack on it. You could.
Oh, yeah. All right. Why stop at 6?
So what Robertson experienced is rare, but possible. It's normal for butt implants to shift around as you use the muscles in that area. However, if they move too much, it can be a cause for concern. Excessive implant shifting is typically caused by a tissue pocket that is too large for the implant, which leaves room for the implant to shift.
That fucking tissue pocket must have been huge.
I would think so. It did. So she squats at the gym and then I guess stood up and went down into her thighs.
The tissue. I'll stick it right in her tissue pocket. Yeah, a cause for concern. Boy,
Yeah.
Way to undersell it.
Yes.
How about reason to panic?
Oh my God. Her ass fell off. Shifted.
She literally worked her ass off. In the gym.
Here at the gym, you'll work your ass off. Shifted implants give your buttocks an unnatural shape. It already is. I mean, that's not a normal butt.
It's not natural. Anything but natural.
And will require revision surgery to properly place and secure the butt implant, which is what happened to Robinson as she spent $85,567 on corrective surgeries.
Yeah, you get what you pay for.
That's what all the doctors are telling her. Well,
like, what kind of Dominican Republic ass? Oh, okay. No, sorry. Where'd you go get this? The DR? Oh, yeah. Okay.
So
that ass is in Spanish.
And not only is having a butt implant moving around possible, but patients also have to be aware that a side effect of butt surgeries is a stinky smell. Yeah. The BBL smell is real, says Dr. Eric Anderson.
What, big black lady?
I,
What the hell's that stand for?
I don't know. BBL smell. The butt implant. No, that's not right. But I
Big
don't
butt
know.
loose.
Big, big butt loose smell is real, says Dr. Anderson. He's a Chicago-based impressions face plus body. It's often
what a fucking! I mean, really? I mean, like, not only does it fucking your ass breaks, but it stinks. Now you got a big stinky broken ass.
yes.
God.
It's often described as musty or sour.
No, sweet.
Two causes of the side effect are not keeping your behind clean or tissue death, known as fat necrosis. So the fatty material that's, I guess, been killed by it says when there's more fat in an area than the blood supply allows, the fat will die through a smelly process called fat necrosis, which
don't worry. What's that smell? Oh, no, ignore that. That's just my ass rotting.
That's my butt rot.
That's just my ass literally rotting and dying and rotting. And I don't wash it.
This can lead to infections that need antibiotics, hospitalizations, well, yes, and even sepsis. So,
yeah, good run of antibiotics at the very least.
Is this really worth it? I'd say no.
It's an idiocracy time, for
Oh
sure.
boy, is it.
Well, hey, I hate to cut it short. I'm gonna go ahead and jump off and return you to your chat so you can put the personal touch on them. But thanks for letting me come on.
My pleasure, Pat. Anytime. Always great to talk with Pat Dixon. You can catch us on Pat's show over at P. Dixon and at Censored with Jokes Kill. We do those Monday and Thursday nights.
Thanks, guys. Later.
Have a good one. All right. That's it for Mr. Dixon. And that's it for necrotic fat. We've learned quite a bit about necrotic fat in your ass. How about that? So let that be a lesson to you. Don't let your butt implant rot. Joe Lamont says, just realize that I do have to work tomorrow, so I have to bail. All right, have a good night, Joe. Probably not seeing this by now, but appreciate you showing up. But love your show. I will catch the rest tomorrow. Good night, all. The Willie Nelson looking guy story looks promising. Good night. Oh, the poor man at the flea market. Yeah, it's a sad story. Nodak, so he was supplying the fleas? Well, we don't know. Pellel, they turned the flea market into a flea market with those shots. They sure did. Pellel, after 5 years, talking to the wife is just habit by now. Well, they're talking about when I got accidentally muted. Joe might close the laptop, but just realized that my phone is next to my bed, so I am still here. Okay. Brian Alley, rest in peace, Doug. I'm still here. Don't worry. But Doug, oh, there he is. Brian Alley voted most likely to die midair. Well, that is a possibility. Plaid Cord, North Side Center, the report wanted the story to be less classy. Pellel, per the picture, he looks like a guy that doesn't let anything get by him. Brian Alley, walk away from the light, Doug. Thought I'd die. Well, he had a moment of clarity, and the 5 years pushed him over the edge. It appears it wasn't just 5 years. Joe, Taylor Swift may actually be with the football player's grandmother, the grandson being just a cover. Oh my God, yeah, people have been saying she's gay. So Bird64 says hi. Nodak, everybody saying hi to one another. What's this? Plaidcore says, just do more squats, lazy cunt. Well, she did her squats after the surgery, and well, yeah. Anyway, Susan Dolan says she dumped Hiddleston because she didn't want to walk down the red carpet with her. But she will with some female singer that I never heard of or remember her name. Well, then that means she's a lesbian. Nodak, the size of an actual bumper. Yeah. Like, hey, Tom Cruise has a new beard. Yeah. Yeah. Pelel, I'd get a butt implant surgery done, not to get it bigger, but I'll be the first person to have 4 ass cheeks. 4 ass cheeks. Pelel, you'll have to sit alone on roller coasters, Pelel. Oh, well, there is that, huh? Pelel, she can tell people she was in her boss office and get her ass chewed out. I don't know. That's a lot of dead fat. Pelel, Brazilian butt lift. Brazilian butt lift again. All right. Well, man-made fistula. Yeah. What's this? Her butt. I don't know. Nodak, my neck, my back. Look at my hanging implant. Yeah. Yeah. But the doctors must have had quite a few jokes there dealing with that, you know. Plaidcore, either way, Taylor Swift is gay. I said it. Well, all right. I guess so. I don't know. You think that'll be the deal when she decides, well, you know, I'm getting too old to be doing this teeny bopper stuff anymore. So now I'll just, you know, retire from the industry and announce I've met the most amazing woman and discovered I'm gay and get married to a woman. And everybody like, sure, Taylor, you just now figured that out. BBL is Brazilian butt lift. All right. Well, there you see, we do learn things here. That's the goodness of Nailsin News. Oh, crap. I forgot about this one. Yeah, it's even in the title. The potty bomb. So we got to deal with that. There was a potty bomb. There was. Again, somewhat misleading, but artistic license was applied. Man arrested for dumping graffiti-covered toilet at LA shopping mall after claiming it was a bomb. What a crappy thing to do. Oh, New York Post, you. A California man allegedly caused a bomb scare when he left a painted toilet at a shopping mall with a note claiming it was an explosive device. Timothy Tarachilla, 22 of Burbank, was arrested for making a false bomb threat after dumping the graffiti-covered toilet at the Americana at Brand Shopping Center in Glendale, but whatever. Police responded to a bomb threat at the... Okay, same thing. Anyway, there's the toilet all painted up. Attempt? I don't know. Is that supposed to be Square Zodiac? I don't know. Candy Skull? Well, whatever. That's the artsy part. The toilet had at least 2 skulls painted on it, as well as the word attempt. Oh, so there's not enough. This isn't another word here. It's just the word attempt. That's odd. Well, he made the attempt, I guess. The shopping center was quickly evacuated before the LA County Sheriff's Department bomb squad deemed the toilet safe to use. 3 hours later, Tarachilla was identified as the alleged culprit after authorities reviewed surveillance footage and spoke to various witnesses. Huh. He looks like John Connor. So there's the bomb guy looking at a toilet. Yeah, well. Anyway, the LA Sheriff's Department bomb squad meticulously worked through their scene safety protocols. Officers searched for the suspect. The suspect was later cuffed and is being held at Glendale Police Department in lieu of $15,000 bail. Well, there you go. It was a bomb, but maybe he meant he left a bomb in it. I mean, not an actual explosive, but, you know. He probably didn't even deliver on that. So he can't get away. So lying, a false bomb warning and all that stuff. So he'll get that. Plus, that artwork looks shitty. So there you go. The potty bomb. That wasn't. Come on, stupid. Now that was a bit of out of sync. I meant to do this next story after the butt story. But, you know, it won't matter. We'll get to it. It'll be fun. There we go. She is known as the woman with the world's largest lips. Here's what she looked like before all her surgeries. All right, let's see. Oh no. Oh God. One too many injections. Jesus. Spending over $26,000 on lip filler alone will earn you the title of woman with the world's largest lips. Andrea Ivanova set out in 2018 to alter her appearance. Well, she succeeded by not only getting a wild amount of lip injections, but also chin shaping, enlargement, and lengthening, jaw shaping, and cheekbone enhancement. Well, you wasted money on all that because the lips just, you know, you're just not even, good Lord. Her face is plastered in makeup, I assume, but it makes all of it look, I guess she wants to look like an android or something. I don't know. Well, a sex doll or something. Anyway, by the Bulgarian woman already had nearly 32 procedures done to make her look like a living Bratz doll. So yeah, she wanted to look like this toy. Now photos of what she looked like prior has surfaced, and the difference is striking. All right, let's see how horribly ugly she was. This is what she hated. Obviously out of her goddamn mind. I suspect she probably had already done something, but I don't know. I mean, like usually they're, you know, very thin lipped, but she wasn't. I mean, she had a bigger upper lip than the lower, but you know, it looks like maybe already did, but good Lord. And just butchered her face. Holy crap. And again, who are the physicians who go along with this? You know? Whatever, it's money. Did she do any of these too? Because if not, that looks nice. And there's, you know, I'm suspicious about the nose, but why? You know, now you just got to be mad at her even more, you know. Although Ivanova, whatever, is aware that her lack of a love life is most likely due to her overdoing it with cosmetic procedures. That, and knowing it's risky, doesn't stop her. My doctor was afraid to inject more hyaluronic acid into my lips. Holy crap. But I was adamant that I wanted more, and I will not stop. So he did it anyway. What a crappy doctor. You need to be committed, you know. But this time, I wanted to experiment with myself to see how many injections and amounts of filler would affect my body. And now you know. I wanted to see how much the injection would affect my body. Okay. I wonder if they'll fall off like the butt implants did to that other woman. Anyway, doctors have even warned the social media model. Social media model? I mean, this is a freak show model now. I mean, that her injection obsession is dangerous and potentially fatal. But expert advice won't change her mind. No, because it's a broken mind. I mean, come on. What does it take to get a clue? In addition to the many alterations to her face, Ivanova has also undergone the knife for a breast augmentation. All right, so yeah, okay. Taking her from a 75C to a 75E bra size. Okay. As wild as this might sound, Ivanova at least didn't have a procedure go wrong like one model who claims her butt implants fell out. Yeah. Chelsea Robinson is, it's going off into the stupid butt model lady. Yeah, well, shouldn't there be charges for physicians who take advantage of the mentally ill like this? Because, it's expensive to destroy your face like that. And they're like, whatever, it's money in my bank. Yeah. Of course, they were perfectly fine with butchering people because they wanted to be another gender and stuff like that. So they took that money too. So lips, child's play. I'll read a few more here, and then we'll end on a light note. A light note, so that we won't be so horrified after we leave. Pale Ale says, looks like Squidward from SpongeBob. Come on. Squidward's not that ugly. Pale Ale, why waste the time? I don't know. Part-time planting in lieu. Plaidcore, shit happens. Oh, this is still about the butt lady. Plaidcore, her lips looks like a prolapsed anus. Oh, gee. She says she was inspired by Bratz dolls, but perhaps she saw that and thought, that's it. That's the look. And she's got the look. Part-time planting? Nah, it's actual plaster. Plaidcore, Dr. Evil. Not even Dr. Evil would be that evil. No, she also got the record for biggest lack of judgment. Well, yeah. Pell, that pic shows her IQ. Susan Nolan, this woman has serious mental problems. Yes. But these doctors really like the money, No doubt. Did the other lady's implants fall onto this girl's face? She's like, hey, don't let that go to waste. But it's smelly because it's necrotic fat. I don't care. Plaidcore, she be thick. Yeah, I guess there's that. No. All right. Well, I think Pat would have appreciated this one, maybe. Don't know. Turns out there's an app for the ladies out there. Initially, to warn other women about these toxic males who could be dangerous. Some guy who's hiding the fact that he's a registered sex offender, that kind of thing. Arrested for violence towards women, all that kind of thing. And you would understand a serial cheater, stuff like that. Well, it went way beyond that. Oh boy, did it. Inside the T-Apps, toxic conversations and how its hacking started a new war of the sexes. First, women using a new app called The T to snitch on their dates, bad behavior, and publicly shame their exes. Then, a hacker exposed thousands of the women's driver's license and selfies sent to the app to verify their identities in an apparent attempt at revenge. The T app, first released in 2023, reeks of our cultural instinct to name and shame rather than work out interpersonal issues. But the vicious hack proves dating discourse has pitted men and women against each other like never before. So here's a guy who finds out he's on the T app. Well, anyway, they're shaming these guys or whatever. The app, woman only app. So if you're a man, you're not supposed to be on it. But of course, you could identify it. Is 1.7 million users strong. Snap a pic of yourself, send in your ID, and you're off to gossiping about local bachelors. It lets ladies share stories about predators and cheaters. They can also conduct background checks. That's all good and nice, but the app makes clear it's for gossip in addition to safety in their own advertisements. Get the tea on your date, the app store listing reads. Avoid dating red flag men. Women could rate past flings with red flags or green flags. One can scroll through a library of men's faces to see what comments other users have tagged to their profile. So here they are. Really? It's that big. So some of the warnings seem legitimate. One man in Oakland, California is presented with a pic and text saying he is a rapist and likes to drug and beat on women. He raped many young girls and women by drugging them. Do not take drinks off this man, accompanied by a news report showing he, or at least someone with the same name and age, you need to substantiate that, had been convicted of sexual assault. Yeah, what if it's the face of someone else? That's still a problem. But several men claim to have false accusations tied to them on the app, including one who called a defamation lawyer about his list. Yeah, these major lawsuits are coming to this app. Another alleged that a T user falsely accused him of asking to borrow her car to go to CVS, then taking it for 3 days. Out of all the guys in the world, they put me on the T app. I don't even talk to girls. So, he's gay? Well, what'd you put him on there for? Anyway, what they said about me was even crazier. Like, I don't know how to speak English. Oh, I'm literally speaking English right now. Oh, I mean, they said you don't know how to speak. Basically, they were just on there and bashing me for no reason. The vast majority of men appear to have more red flags than green, and many complaints seem to revolve around ghosting. Yeah, ghosting, that's right up there with, rape. Most often, no proof is offered. Oh, boy. So anyone with a vendetta could theoretically, it's not theoretical, they're doing it, spin terrible rumors about guys they don't like, even if they were, say, just a coworker. And since guys aren't allowed, there's only ever one side of the story, which has prompted many complaints. She says, watch me confront my cheating man. Okay. She's got same thing. Okay. Anyway, some men have infiltrated the site. TikToker Sancho TV posted a screenshot of himself on the app, which has 21 red flags next to his name, saying it was made it on the T app and crazy, with a video of him smiling and celebrating. Surprising enough, the app was founded by a man. According to his website, Sean Cook watched his mother get catfished and was inspired to create the platform. It exploded in popularity this summer, shooting to the #1 spot in the app store. Its newfound popularity ruffled a lot of feathers, culminating in the hack of the platform. Well, that's what happens with attention, So anyway, on Friday, the app confirmed 72,000 images were leaked online, including user selfies and photo IDs. He found out he's on the app, too. Girly, if a guy's hitting on you at the bar, it's girly? Okay. 404 Media, who originally reported the breach, tracked its origins back to 4chan. a far-right, male-dominated message board site. 4chan users absolutely tore apart the user-uploaded selfies with incredibly cruel comments. Some combed through the leaked photos to craft compilations of particularly unflattering photos women took from the comfort of their home, never expecting they'd go anywhere but a database somewhere in the cloud. Well, yeah, but you're doing it on this site to these men. One person, apparently with a lot of time on their hands, even created a website where visitors could vote on which of the two selfies was more attractive. The result, a very brutal leaderboard. Anyway, here's the founder. Jeez. I don't. Aleph, woke 8-year-old. Okay. Women create site to dox men with half-truths and gossip. Instead, end up getting doxed themselves with government-issued IDs confirming their identity paired with plain text leaks showcasing toxic behavior with non-reputation. And that's the T, sis. All right. The doxers of the T were doxed themselves, but both sides of the whole debacle are wrong. Women can save their snide comments about dates for drinks with their friends instead of public shaming forums. And men putting selfies of women, private citizens, on blast online are downright cruel. We're losing the plot. Since when did dating become an all-out gender war instead of loving each other? We're dunking on one another. It's almost as if more people are addicted to hate than love. Or they are in love with hate. Maybe. Anywho, there you go. Well, wasn't that nice? There you go. And the bird-looking guy said, hey, look, I was trying to do a good thing. Well, the road to hell, you know. Paved with those good intentions. What are you going to do? Yeah. Plaidcore says, I hope the T app gets hacked. It was. Plaidcore spilled T's data. They did. Pell, the old maid and cat lady went vent session. Yeah, pretty much. Plaidcore, I wrote too soon. You did. So there we go. It says, hey, you can't put my personal information out there. I only did it because you put my personal information out there. Plus, you lied about me. Whatever. Susan Dolan, as O'Brien in 1984 said, hate is less exhausting than love. I guess so. Love takes a lot of work, doesn't it? Yeah. Plus, you actually have to have a good character of your own. You can't just be a shitty person and demand everyone else be saints, you know. You got to make an effort yourself. Sadly, this doesn't always happen in today's world. Conan's, I don't think she's referring to Conan. Anyway, there we go. That's the shoe. And I'll do another one soon. There were other stories, but that was a lot. And plus cool to have Pat on for a bit. That was fun. And so I think we did a lot here, over 2 hours. That's pretty good. So we'll get together. I got to do my Wednesday comics show. I might just tape that one. Because I don't know. Plus, I got to go to bed early, sometime later from now, to be able to wake up fresh and ready for Doomcock's Pop Culture Breakdown show. We'll be talking about Fantastic Four, of course. What else? Well, stuff. Oh, they're going to do a puppet episode for Strange New Worlds. I don't know. I guess that'll be another, either Trelane comes back because I already had him in the show, or Q shows up. Whatever, it doesn't matter. And then what else they're going to do, I forget, but something of that nature may or may not appear, but definitely we'll give our reviews of Fantastic Four. I already put mine out on my channel. You can check it out there, and we'll see how that goes on the Doomcock Show Wednesday night Pop Culture Breakdown. So everybody have a good rest of your night, and we'll do it again soon, because I don't know, it's just fun to do. Yeah, that's why I do it. Have a good night, everybody.
Killers, killing it, killing it, killing it, killing it. Nailsin News. 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 Where all the money go? Ain't nobody gonna know. Do you trust your meat to take a walk down the street while killers be killing and killing and killing and killing? Nailsin News. News. Ain't nobody gonna know. Do you trust your meat to take a walk down the street while killers be killing and killing and killing and killing? Nailsin News. News.